when Cameron came to me, he actually came to me because his dad said that he didn't like the way he ran. And so I had Cameron do some running on the street. I didn't see anything that was horrible, not like what his father was describing. But when Cameron came in here, there were things that I saw that every young man needs to work on, especially young teenagers. It's coordination, it is learning to control your body, which is really important. And then most teenagers don't have that. So one of the first things I wanted to work with Cameron was his body mechanics, working with his posture, working with lower body strength, work on his squat, and then we continued to progress. Once I found out, a couple months into our training, that I knew that Cameron was driving karts, and then kind of sat with him one day and said, so tell me a little bit, when you're sitting in a kart and you're racing, what are some of the things that you find? And he just discussed with me, he says, well, I find that I need more core strength, I need more upper body strength because of the way that the steering wheel, you have to push on the steering wheel when we're going in corners and things like that. And I said, perfect, I can develop a plan for you. So we started right away in working on Cameron's upper body strength. A lot of his push strength which was important, so doing bench press, a lot of pressing work. The other thing that I also worked on was Cameron's posture, so a lot of stuff to bring Cameron's, his shoulders were rolled forward, worked on bringing his posture back. And then as Cameron progressed and became stronger and stronger, we could see it materialize in his racing. He'd come in and work after a weekend of racing and would tell me, oh my goodness, I felt so much better, I felt stronger. But the thing that was amazing is that he would come off of a race, all the other drivers are huffing and puffing, and he's ready to go out and do another 30 more laps. And so Cameron was just amazing, because we also worked on his endurance. Core strength is really important. Now that Cameron's moving into a new phase of his driving, we are now working on his neck strength while Cameron was rehabilitating from his broken leg. We did not allow that to stop his training. I worked a lot of stuff where Cameron would sit, worked on his upper body strength, we worked on his neck strength, and then when it got to the point where he was able to start standing and getting back to using his lower body, we picked up on that, resumed that training. It has been a challenge to get through it, because he'd been off of that leg for well over, I'm thinking, 5 months, and the rehab was not easy, but we stuck with it. But most important, Cameron stuck with it. Cameron, everything I asked him to do, he always does it. So it was his tenacity and his willingness, and quite honestly, he wanted to get back to racing and just looked to me and says, listen, I need to get back as soon as possible, what can you do? So he put in the work, and I put together a pretty rigorous program. Today, I think he's done outstanding.
I've been with Howard for 2 years, I think it was 3 years, so 3 years. It started off just kind of like to stay fit, and like there's a lot of stuff that I need to change and like need to fix, but then it just ended up being a massive help for me, and ultimately all the success right now I have is a lot of it has to do with the strength and endurance I've built up from these years.
And what about coming back from your broken leg? Obviously you broke your leg pretty badly, and did that cause you some time out, and how's it feeling now?
I mean, it didn't take too much time out. I mean, obviously, walking and running and all that sort of side of it. But I was still, as soon as I had surgery, I just came back, started doing upper body, all that stuff, just because I knew, it's so quick to lose it. And, it just, feels good to be fully back now,
How long has it been?
Since the injury, I believe 8 months. Since I've been out the cast and like walking and racing again, I would say it's been about 3. It's been good to be back. Yeah.